Urobo Wado, Ishakiri Wado. Let's talk a little bit about Ishakiri, one of the closest neighbors to the Urobo people that are found in the coastline of the Atlantic Ocean. When we are talking about Ishakiris, we're talking about people of different ethnicity, different ancestry, with an identity from the Benin prince known as Prince Igino, the son of Oba Olo. That is to say, Ishakiri is an expansion of the Benin Empire. And Benin Empire started during the reign of Oba Eware the Great, formerly known as Prince Ogun, who reigned from 1440 to 1473. Oba Eware invited the then governor of Sao Tome and Principe, referred to as Rodesequira. But there was something that happened in the Benin Kingdom that resulted to Oba Eware inviting Rodesequira into Benin Kingdom. During the reign of Oba Eware, exactly 1472, the kingdom was declining, such that people have to pull away to different territories. But what actually happened? Oba Eware two sons, Koboyiwa and Ezuwara, died. I'm using some words because of social media policies. Koboyiwa and Ezuwara, they died, and because of this, Oba Eware declared a rule, and this rule became unfavorable to the people. People have to pull away. So the best way to get those people back, Oba Eware invited a powerful house which is found in Sao Tome and Principe, known as Rodesequira, the then head of that territory. Rodesequira was a Portuguese man who came from Europe. I told you guys the stories concerning Sao Tome and Principe, Anobon, Bioko Island, formerly known as Fernando Po, how the Portuguese had effect in that territory. But anyway, I'm talking about Ishakiri. Ishakiri is an expansion of the Benin Empire through Prince Iginoa, who came with the sons of 70 chiefs from Benin. On a separate video, I'm going to talk about the characters of Prince Iginoa that resulted to his migration to this territory, what actually happened. But let's focus on the original people with separate identity, separate ethnic nationality that later became Ishakiri ethnic group. Those people are known as Mahims, collectively called Ilaje, and also the one found in Ishakiri, an extract of Igala according to their history. I've seen several videos. Those people, they decided to move to Igala territory to meet the Ata of Igala. That is to tell you there's a true connection between Igala and Ishakiri. And Ishakiri is seen as the ancestral home of the Ishakiri people. But the majority of the people in that territories scattered across what you call Ishakiri today, they were referred to as the Mahims. But who are these Mahim people? The Mahim people, collectively known as Ilaje people, their ancestry is from the place known as Ile-Ife. And this place you called Ile-Ife was originally owned by the people you call today Ilaje people. It was the arrival of our self-exiled prince known as Ekaladera, who changed his name to become Izodua, corrupted by the Ile-Ife people to become Odudua. Odudua arrival led to the people, which you call Ilaje people, to move from that territory to another place. They were now found in the coastline. It was these people Prince Iginoa bestowed authority upon. Until date, Prince Iginoa descendants are seen as the royal house of those people. They are not related to the Mahims in any way. Let me explain this history to you guys. When we are talking about Oduduwa, according to the Ilefe people, they believe that Oduduwa came from the sky with fowls and chains. And this kind of history is not true. They also talk about Oduduwa origin from the northern Africa. And also, they also talk about Oduduwa origin from Mecca. They're talking about Saudi Arabia. So the Oduduwa history are so many from Ife. But the true history of Oduduwa is from this territory you called Igudumigudu, later became Benin Kingdom. Oduduwa was our self-exiled prince, referred to as Ikaladina. I told you, Ikaladina's father was Ogiso Owodu. Ogiso Owodo family is what you call Ogwogwa. And Ogwogwa families is the one you refer to as Ogo Kingdom, Ugele Kingdom, Agbarauto Kingdom, Orogu Kingdom, Ijere Kingdom, Musuga Kingdom, Ogara Kingdom, Agbara Kingdom of Warisat local government area, which we now call Wado City. These people are also families of Ogiso Owodo. And it was Ogiso Owodo's son, known as Ekaladera, that became Izoduwa, created by the Ilefe people to become Oduduwa. And it was one of Oduduwa's sons, the Yoruba people agreed. When we say Yoruba, we're talking about the Oyo people. They agreed that one of their ancestors came from what you call Ileife today, and later established himself in the Oyo territory. And those people were now referred to as Yoruba today. Now, if we all agreed that Oyo traces ancestry to Oduduwa, and Oduduwa is not related to the original inhabitant of Ileife, which are the Mahim. We saw a video where the Olugbo of Ugbo, His Royal Majesty, who talked about Oduduwa origin, that Oduduwa should go. That is to say, the current Ileife people to go and look for their ancestors, where he came from. Because the Benin people claim that Oduduwa came from their territory and he was their self-exiled prince. In fact, I believe that the Olugbo of Ugbo agreed to the Benin history concerning a Ekaladera that later became Oduduwa. Somebody telling you that it came from the sky with fowl and chains is impossible. And these are the folk tales, myth, propagandas that people believe until date, which is not true. Now, if we all agree that Oduduwa family is what we call Oromiyan in Oyo, and Oyo people are the one referred to as Yoruba, it is impossible to use the sun to describe Oduduwa. You cannot use Oyo families to describe Oduduwa, who now lived in Ileife. It is just like using my name, Oroje or Obrike, to describe my ancestors, calling them Orojoid or Obrukoid group. It's not true, because my ancestors, the like of Umojano, the like of Erikefe, the like of Edafe, the like of Ojanoma, all these people, they also have families traced in other places, and these people are older than me. So you cannot use me to describe those people as Orojoid people or Obrukoid people. These are the mistakes that were done using Oyo people to describe Oduduwa families. And today, the people that are not connected to these Oyo people are now called Yoruba people, known as the Ishakiri people. Ishakiri people are not connected to Oyo. They are not families of Oduduwa. They are families of Ilaje, the Mahims, the Igala. It was later on, during the trade, I don't want to use some word, SLAVE, people have to move from that territory and join the already existing people. But these people, they have different ancestry. During the time of Nana Olomu in 1894, the British freed many of these people. These people were captured. And also during the time of the Benin expansion, the Benin Empire, many territories were defeated, were conquered. And those people were sold as SLAVE to different territories. Today they are found in the America, which covers North America, South America, and also they are also found in the Caribbean territories. When you go to the America, you see places like Oyotunji. Now, when we are talking about Yoruba, we are talking about Oyo. And the current Ishakiri people, majority of them were formerly known as the Mahims, with their ancestral home also of Igala people found in Ode Ishakiri. So it is either the Ishakiris are described to be Ilaja people, which are Mahims, or Igala. If you claim Ode Ishakiri to be your ancestral home, that means you are supposed to be known as Igala people. Because this place you call Igala predates Ile-Ife and predates Yoruba. The Igala people are ancient people who have lived over time. In fact, they experienced the great flood that happened in Ufe, in the present Umala local government area of Kogi State. That place belongs to them. So it is supposed to be Igala to be used to describe Ishakiri, or it's supposed to be Mahims to be used to describe Ishakiri, not Yoruba. The Ishakiri people by ancestry, they are not connected to Oyo people. And Oyo is what we refer to as Yoruba. It was British classification, groupings. They now group them to become Yoruba, but originally they're not Yoruba. Now, I will tell you how it started. Formerly, the people you call the Ishakiri people, they aligned with Benin. They were seen as Benin expansion, product of Benin through the royal house. But later on, when the Benin kingdom was destroyed, precisely the Benin Empire, during the reign of Oba Ovorame, who reigned from 1888 to 1897, and was exiled down to Calabar. By 1914, it died. The powers of the Benin Empire was reduced. In fact, it was totally declined. The Ishakiri decided to plan a way to align with a new authority. And that was the time of Obafemi Awolowo. Obafemi Awolowo did so many things, trying to join other people to become part of him. In fact, the Oyo that was once powerful, Obafemi Awolowo reduced their powers. Obafemi Awolowo now created a spiritual traditional centers for everybody that was aligned to the western region. He made the then Oni of Ife, known as Adesoji Aderemi, who reigned from 1930 to 1970, to become the head of traditional rulers. And this was a problem that resulted to the creation of Midwest. So many fraudulent activities was done in that territory to allow the Ishakiri to become larger mass of what you call Yoruba today. Originally, they are not Yorubas. Adesoji Aderemi was used by Obafemi Awolowo to become the head of traditional rulers of the Western region. Don't forget that we have a mighty empire and a kingdom known as Benin Kingdom, formerly known as Igbodomigodo Kingdom, that reigned for almost 1,500 years before a Kaladera or Oduduwa was born. And Oduduwa, according to their Ile-Ife explanation, that Oduduwa's son later became Oromiyan that established Oyo. So why are you now using somebody from Oyo to describe the whole people as Yoruba people, and also using somebody from Ife, who later became the Oni of Ife, to describe or to align authority over everybody in the Western region? This fraudulent activity was done by Obafemi Awolowo. In fact, it reduced the powers of Oyo. The then Alafin of Oyo was dethroned by Obafemi Awolowo because they did not support his party. It was the same Obafemi Awolowo that changed the title from Olu of Ishakiri to Olu of Warri, a fraudulent one. These are one of the reasons the Ishakiri people align with what you call Yoruba today. Normally, Yoruba did not extend to Ishakiri land. Yoruba did not extend to Ilaje people. The Ilaje people are not Yoruba. They are junior. The original owner of Ife are the Ilaje people, which is the Olugbo of Ugbo families. It was Oduduwa that came there and exercised authority over them. And later on, his descendant pushed to different territories. One of his descendants became Oyo. This Oyo is what you call Yoruba today. And this Yoruba is what is now used to describe many other people. But originally, they are not Yoruba people. So Ishakiris, their ancestry are Mahims, Ilaje, and also Igala. And also other people that were living there before Prince Iginwa exercised authority over them. So they can still be seen as Benin people before the recent classification to become Yoruba. So you are not Yoruba people. Normally you are not Yorubas. You are either to be classified as Igala or Ilaje or Benin. Well, on my next video, I'm going to talk about the characteristics of Prince Iginwa, what actually happened that resulted in his migration from Benin Kingdom into this territory. Ladies and gentlemen, help me to share this video